be really excited to be back. A couple of games under your belt and now back at Optus. The boys really looking forward to it.
Yeah, absolutely pumped. Feels like we were in Melbourne for about 2 weeks there. The sun wasn't exactly shining for us over there, but we managed to play some really nice cricket at the MCG. To have someone like Zach come in has really boosted the group as well, and to get some good results in the first 2 games was really pleasing, and almost feel like we picked up a little bit where we left off last year.
That first game, a bit of an anti-climax for you. Can you talk us through how that worked? Sort of understand that you knew that pitch wasn't great before you got there.
Yeah, look, I think it happens. I played enough cricket to know that there are accidents in the sport. Disappointing for everyone that was looking forward to playing in that game, at least for myself who managed to get a duck. But one of those ones. It's cricket, no one's fault, and we'll move forward with it.
Do you see the Stars game as pretty close to your best cricket? I mean, you're pretty comprehensive all round. All the bowlers took wickets, did their job. Batting group was pretty strong. You guys were really, really pleased with it.
Yeah, it was a Scorchers performance to a T, I think. We would have been forgiven to have eased into the competition, but it's not really the Perth way. That bowling attack is as good as any domestic bowling attack in the world. And to go out and play the way they did was just a fantastic start for us. It's the confidence that everyone on and off the field was looking for. And those are the standards that we've set ourselves, particularly since I've been here for the last 2 years. So I certainly wasn't surprised. But to go and get on the road and come back with 3 pretty hard-earned points was really important.
Sorry, can we come straight to mics?
Yeah,
right?
sure.
You've gone 14-game seasons, 10-game season, and then you've basically had a week off. Is it a bit different? I mean, last year was pretty frenetic for you guys, like a little pretty jam-packed.
Yeah, I think it's different for different individuals as well. I think for the general consensus of the players in the squad, it's that being able to recover adequately after decent travel time and make sure you're really well prepared to go in. And that game on Optus is really important. So I feel like if you want the best standard of cricket to be played, you need to let guys rest, recover, and prepare adequately. And we've certainly done that this week. So I don't feel like there's anyone going into Wednesday's game feeling like they need more. And hopefully we can keep putting on a show.
It's a fresh wicket for you at Optus, but did you take in any of the test match, and what did you sort of make of the deck and how it played in the early stages?
Yeah, I think less so the test match and more the wickets we played on there last year. A lot of guys have had a lot of cricket there in this squad. Obviously myself not as much, so naturally there's going to be, for the guys who aren't as privy to playing there as much, a little bit more of a period of getting to know the surface again and the style of cricket that gets played there. But last year there was some really exciting cricket there. There was pace and bounce and carry, and we know that suits us. And it's very difficult to come over from the eastern states and get used to that bounce straight away. So we know it's a real competitive advantage for us, and hopefully we can hammer that advantage home.
Are you looking forward to opening the batting with Zach? I heard he absolutely cracked them on Saturday, so that must be exciting for you.
Yeah, he's a good friend of mine. Zach, actually, we played grade cricket in Sydney together. We've been good mates for a long period of time now. We're living together over here, so friends off the field always makes for good fun when you get out there. And yeah, I've played a lot against him. He's got a lot of runs against Middlesex for Kent, so I'm buzzing to have him on my side.
What's he like to live with, first of all, and sort of what's he going to bring as a bloke to this side, and how big Scorchers are and the cultural side of things? Yeah,
he's a very relaxed guy, Zach, and I think what him and that test team have been able to achieve over the last 18 months has given him a whole heap of confidence on and off the field. I think he was pretty well aware since the draft of what the Scorchers is to a lot of people here and how successful the franchise is, and I think more so, chatting to a few guys is what it means to play for the Scorchers from a family perspective. He spent a bit of time out here playing for Wembley Downs, I think 5 or 6 years ago, and he's played with and against a lot of guys in the team already, so he slipped in beautifully. Really humble guy, but sort of lets his bat through the talking, which I think is kind of the Perth way as well.
You got a bit of a selection squeeze on, which is something the Scorchers are pretty used to, when it might be that Hamish McKenzie's the unlucky one, even though he was player of the match. Can you talk to us about the guys having to potentially sacrifice playing every game or playing exactly the role they want to be able to fit into the side?
Yeah, you're exactly right. They're great problems for the selection committee and the coaches to have. And I think over the course of a tournament, you're going to be calling on each and every individual to play their role. And I think there's no egos in this squad. If you're required one game and not the next, no one takes that personally. Everyone just goes about their business really, really nice and quietly, and knows that when they're called upon, the expectation is they go in and give it everything and do their job to the best of their ability. So yeah, I think it's great dilemmas to have, and the depth in this squad is arguably the best it's been. To see someone like Hamish go out and play the way he did when Ash was out with that little calf is really beautiful, and it gives the whole squad confidence that no matter who goes away to play what type of cricket, there's a whole heap of really, really good cricketers that can step in to fill the void.
You would have played a lot of Premier cricket against him. Were you surprised at all by just how good his control was at the MCG the other night, and just absolutely lapped up the opportunity?
Yeah, I actually haven't faced Chief at all in Premier cricket, but since meeting him last year, he's shot into my top 5 favourite cricketers to play with. So when I was in England, I would wake up on a Saturday and check the My Cricket videos of him getting 8 for 25 or whatever it is off 55 overs in a grade game. And you don't see he's so confident. And his skill set's amazing, really, for such a young guy. I think it's one thing doing that for Subiaco Florea, and it's another thing doing that at the MCG in your first game against a high-quality Stars batting lineup. So, really proud of him, really pleased for him, and I think onwards and upwards for him.
A couple of guys coming back. First one, Eskinazi. He's such an integral part of the Scorchers and has been for a long time, so you must be looking forward to having him back.
Yeah, Ash epitomises, I think, what it is to be a Perth Scorcher, his energy in the field, his high quality with both skills, and what he's like as a bloke. He gives everything to the shirt and has done for a long period of time. So always amazing to have someone of the quality of Ash coming back as a cricketer, but more so as a bloke. He's an infectious guy around the dressing room, and he's always wanting to be involved in the game. So we're lucky to have someone like him, and I know the way he's worked with Hamish as well has been really, really cool to see. So great to have guys like that back.
And Lance Morris released from the Test squad, but it's not a super easy pace attack to break into at the same time. So another one of those good problems to have, but he's an exciting prospect if he gets a run. Yeah,
and I think whatever combination they go with from a seam bowling perspective, it's not going to be an easy attack to face. So I'm sure they'll go and have a look at the surface tomorrow and see what they think is the best combination and makeup. And as I said, I don't think anyone's going to be too disappointed if they miss one game because Lance is back, or even if Lance wasn't to play. We're a real team, and I feel like that's been something that's really driven the success of the organisation for a long period of time. So selfishly, I'd love to see him bowl, fielding a backward point and see that ball fizz through. But everyone there is so good to watch as well.
What about your own game coming into the tournament? The duck in the first game, are you able to sort of put that behind you and go, well, the deck was pretty wretched, like I've just got to put that behind me and move on?
Yeah, I've played over 100 games of T20 cricket now, and I've failed in a few of those, and I've done well in a few of those, and I think that's the beauty of experience is, you want to try and make sure you're putting in good performances, but that's not necessarily 10 out of 10 games. It's about when I get in and when I get the chance to take the game by the scruff of the neck that I can really do that. And I'm still really confident. I've had a really nice year in white ball cricket, and I don't think I'll be letting one duck on a wet wicket get in the way of that confidence.
Going back to Optus, last time you were there, it was full and you won a championship. It was just an incredible night all around. Does it make it extra special going back there, knowing that that's sort of your last memory of it?
Yeah, absolutely. We were there for a little appearance the other day, Matt Kelly and I, and you can reminisce straight away about what happened that night. But I think it's going to be really important that we put that to the back of our minds. You can have the confidence from that night, absolutely, but a new competition, teams are catching up to us. I'd say at almost every juncture, there's some really high quality teams, and the Hurricanes are one of those too. So we don't want to be caught on the hop thinking about how good that final was last year. We want to make sure we create some really special memories again this year and check back in with the things that made us really successful last year.
How does it compare playing at Optus versus playing in other parts of the country? We've seen the support that you've gotten over the years there. What's different about playing at Optus?
Yeah, it's a real cauldron from what I remember last year. Firstly, it's so unique from like a weather perspective and pitch conditions perspective, but then from a support perspective, the other day, you just feel, well, I can imagine as an opposition player, you feel like everyone's right on top of you. I was chatting with Zach earlier. He was lucky enough to play against us last year, as an away player, and he said it was just, pin drop silence when he hit a boundary, and he's looking forward to having, the Orange Army on his side. But yeah, I don't think I've ever played in a stadium where you feel the home support as much as Optus, and I can imagine it's incredibly off-putting to play against, and we really need to harness that again and try and get everybody on side, and we'll do that with the bat, ball and in the field.
Long way to go, obviously. How special would it be to win 3 in a row? Does that get much of a mention around the boys?
Not at all. There's so much water to go under the bridge. There's so much good cricket that needs to be played between now and any finals that might come our way. And again, I think the humility of the group is the strength as well. They've won so much silverware at this ground and at Optus for the last couple of years, but you wouldn't really know it. The attention to detail from a training perspective is really high quality. The preparation going into every game is really high quality, and you don't want, as I said, you don't want to be caught on the hop thinking either about last year or too far ahead. There's 8 really, really competitive good games of cricket against high quality opposition, and we know our best is good enough, and it's just about tapping into that as much as possible.